Hi, I'm Dr. Dean St. Mart, formulator for Supplement Needs, and in this video we're going to talk about our new glucose sensitizing and pancreatic function improving product, Glucox. So what is Glucox? As you may have been aware, within the supplement industry we have a class of supplements known as glucose disposal agents. What these have been designed to do is to help improve glucose oxidation and glucose transport from the bloodstream, specifically to help to partition it into muscle tissue to further drive recovery and glycogen retention and storage. So people have come to view these GDA products as a crutch when it comes to a high carbohydrate meal, in that they magically hope that these substances help to magically transport the glucose that they ingest into their muscle tissue, which isn't inherently correct. So when I was designing Glucox, I wanted to stay away from the typical GDA formula, which normally is one of a few ingredients such as berberine, which just basically helps to oxidize the glucose within your blood to make it more efficient for transport and storage. With Glucox, my overall aim, like the rest of the Dr. Dean Health series, is to specifically support your pancreatic function. So your pancreas is what secretes insulin that helps to shuttle blood glucose out of the bloodstream, and to help improve insulin sensitivity, which is what is required for your cells to take on board that glucose in response to insulin. So in certain disease processes, such as type 2 diabetes, we lose that insulin sensitivity, whereby the cells either become resistant to the insulin that you're making, or the beta cells, the pancreas, become dysfunctional and you don't make enough insulin. Now, type 2 diabetes is a multifaceted disease process in that there's a lot of things that we need to consider. Primarily glycation, which is the body's form of storing glucose by attaching glucose to protein surface receptors. So you may have seen on your blood work your HbA1c, which is your hemoglobin A1c content. Now A1c helps to glycate, so it takes on board glucose within the heme of your blood, of your red blood cells. So it becomes an important marker to see how efficiently you've been shuttling glucose out of your bloodstream over a 90-day period, which is the lifetime of your red blood cells. So with Glucox, I wanted to put together an ingredient profile that would help improve insulin sensitivity, so you take on board your glucose more efficiently, but also aid in some of the degenerative processes that can cause dysregulation of the pancreas. So to start, we have 500 milligrams of magnesium citrate to provide elemental magnesium. Now, if you've seen a lot of my videos so far, magnesium is a critically important element, as it's a cofactor for an abundance of enzymes in our body. Primarily, when we look at the research towards blood glucose and diabetes risk management, magnesium becomes important as it helps to offset any of the negative consequences that can occur with metabolic syndrome. Now, metabolic syndrome is just a blanket term that we give to loss of insulin sensitivity, increased storage of triglycerides, fatty liver disease. It's a whole blanket. It's almost like Syndrome X. Then next up, we've got 900 micrograms of chromium picolinate. Now, what chromium does is it's also a coenzyme cofactor, so it helps to improve how insulin acts within the body, and it helps to specifically drive down that HbA1c value, which I was talking about previously. The next ingredient then is a very novel, or I feel one that is not included in enough GDAs, and that's benfotiamine. Now, benfotiamine is a form of vitamin B1, which is known as thiamine, which is specifically involved in anti-glycation in the body. Now, why would we want to lower that glycation risk? Well, as I said, those advanced glycation end products, or glycation itself, can lead to further aging of our cells. It can increase oxidative stress, and it can also cause endothelial dysfunction, which has a role to play into atherosclerosis. So benfotiamine is incredible here in that it offsets glycation, stopping cells from becoming glycated, and then lowering your oxidation and obviously oxidative stress. The fourth ingredient is 600 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid. Now, alpha lipoic acid is well known as an antioxidant, but it does have very nice beneficial effects when it comes to blood glucose management, as first of all, it increases blood flow, helps provide protection to the beta cells of the pancreas by being an antioxidant, and helps to further improve glucose oxidation. So 600 milligrams of alpha lipoic acid, you're well covered there. Now, the fifth ingredient is something which I'm very pleased to include in Glucox, and that's gliesodin. So gliesodin is a gliadin conjugated form of superoxide dismutase. Now, within our body we have antioxidants, but we also have key critical enzymes that deal with oxidative stress, especially in terms of pathogens or again from high levels of oxidants in our blood. So superoxide dismutase acts on oxide free radicals, or superoxide free radicals to be more specific, alongside catalase, which is another critical enzyme. With gliesodin, we're helping to provide a form of superoxide dismutase that's going to help lower inflammation, lower oxidative stress, going to lower that glycation risk, and quite remarkably there have been studies where gliesodin has been shown to reduce arterial plaque and lower the risk of cardiovascular disease. So it is quite a remarkable compound. Now bear in mind, this is conjugated to gliadin, which is a component of wheat. So this is definitely a product that unfortunately celiacs may not agree with. And we have this warning on the label that there is a wheat allergen. Now the third component to Glucox is your typical GDA stack, you could say. We have 500 milligrams of cinnamon, which is a water-soluble cinnamon extract. The reason why we choose cinnamon is it has a high polyphenol content, and that again plays into protecting the arteries, protecting against the oxidative stress of glucose, and acts as a glucose disposal agent to help shuttle glucose out of the bloodstream. We then have 500 milligrams of bitter melon, 300 milligrams of African mango, and 60 milligrams of banana leaf, which is standardized to 20% corosylic acid. So you're going to get 12 milligrams of corosylic acid within the product. Now these three work in synergy together in that the bitter melon is going to act as a beta cell regenerating compound, and if you look at the literature there, it's again quite remarkable. It helps to increase insulin sensitivity, helps to decrease triglyceride clearance. Same going for African mango. African mango can lower triglycerides within the blood, lower hyperlipidemia, and again that's going to make you more insulin sensitive, because we know the effect that high fat ingestion can have on our body when it comes to how our body can shuttle and dispose of glucose. Then the final part of the supplement is again a antioxidant blend. So we have 200 milligrams of coffee bean extract, which is standardized to 50% phenolic acid, and then we have 200 milligrams of Panax ginseng, which is standardized to 4% ginsenosides. Here again, the whole concept of having polyphenols within the product, we're going to help to lower and reduce blood glucose. We're also going to help protect the beta cells. So as you can see, overall this product is ultimately designed to try and offset some of the negative consequences that can come from the progression into type 2 diabetes, the ingestion of a high amount of carbohydrate long term, and also then to offset this glycation or advanced glycation end product, AGE, that can occur from chemical ingestion from within our food or within the cooking methods that we choose. Now if it comes to applying this to the bodybuilding community, we know that specifically usage of human growth hormone will lead to a desensitization in insulin sensitivity, and again further elevate blood glucose. So Glucox is ultimately designed there to try and offset some of the negative side effects that may come from this exogenous use of growth hormone. Now, to close out the panel, a question I'm often asked is, why didn't I include berberine within this supplement? Well, we already offer berberine as a standalone ingredient, which is standardized to quite a high content. So to me, berberine is one of these supplements that either you agree with or you don't agree with in terms of how it affects your gut health. It can be quite gut toxic, similar to metformin, and in that regard it can cause quite a lot of GI distress and diarrhea. So I feel, in terms of what's within this product blend for Glucox, berberine just wasn't a match to the fit of the profile. But I hope you can appreciate everything that's been put into, obviously, how this has been designed, with furthermore in mind that we want to ultimately protect the pancreas from long-term disease, and as well as improve our insulin sensitivity to ensure that that glucose transport occurs efficiently, which ultimately then will play a role towards hypertrophy, specifically in the bodybuilding community. So that's the panel and the explanation towards Glucox. I'm Dr. Dean St. Mart, formulator for supplement needs, and thank you for listening.